on at StarTimes. Today we have from Abia State that the Speaker commends FG for prioritizing infrastructural development. And in Ekiti State, he said the CMD has spoken to diasporan doctors to remember their birthplace. And Gombe State, it says NHRC says that hardship has forced fathers to abandon their families. In Borno State, FG to create jobs for youths in 2025. And from the judiciary, we have that courts to determine Tinubu's fate December 16th. Finally, a deplorable role, we have that Chief Edwin Clark has said to the federal government to the region.
From the lines across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring all the sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economic, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today. Only on 18.
Every day, our lives are changed by history.
We are one people, all of us.
Leaders, politics.
Nobody's I belong to everybody, and I belong to nobody.
ATN covers it all on ATN Politics today.
From the lines across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring all the sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economic, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
Every day, our lives are changed by history.
We are one people, all fought very firmly.
Natural occurrence, war, and the world economy.
I belong to everybody, and I belong to nobody.
ATN covers it all on ATN Politics today.
From area and the roads themselves. I mean, I'm familiar with Aba School at the University of Calabar.
Okay.
So when you talk about Aba, Port Harcourt road, and what I saw as the reality now, I call OT a creative developer. And when the airport is going, in fact, I'm looking at a situation wherein it's going to be one of the smartest airports of its kind. It's going to take into consideration the latest facilities. And I tell you the truth, there's a bigger picture that I'm looking at, which I wouldn't want to mention here, because, like I said, I'm not ready to live here. I'm here. I'm not living here.
Okay.
There is a no. You should consult OT in terms of development and collaborate. You understand me? So once that airport touch, there are things that will happen that nothing can stop, but nature will collaborate with it. And I'm looking forward to that. It's a welcome development. Tomorrow is here, Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Is going to experience one of the fastest activity in terms of construction.
Okay.
And I look forward that it will be completed even before the anticipated time lapse.
Thank you very
so
much.
So that we'll be able to see
put a head together to construct the Abia State airport.
Yeah.
Is it?
That is it.
Okay,
I'm
glad you actually liked the idea. Oh, well, moving forward, we have that the Chief Medical Director, Federal Teaching, Medical and Healthcare Practitioners who had gone abroad for greener pastures to consider contributing to the development of the Nigerian health sector. Ajayi reminded them that traveling to foreign lands should not be an excuse for them to forget their birthplace, and the need to grow the health sector in Nigeria is in the interest of their people back home. Ajayi made the statement at Ido-Ekiti on Sunday on the sidelines of the 2024 Christmas Carol service and the meritorious awards to deserving staffs organized by the tertiary facility. The CMD is speaking to you back home, but I don't know, we're not forcing you, but we really want you back home. Coming from the CMD in Ekiti State, you know, referring to the doctors in living, but specifically in the health sector, it's actually a thing for concern. But I want to get your thoughts. Do you agree with what he's saying? You know, for them to always come back home, or are you on this? Was it worse before now? Before the
if you compare, you can't compare the Ethereum to dollar. Do you understand?
Okay.
It's higher than dollar.
Yeah.
But if you compare dollar, you see dollar is going to 2,000 now.
Yes.
Yeah, I was arguing with one of my brothers, and he said, pound sterling can never get to 2,000 naira.
Pound sterling.
Yes, he told me that. That was some good months ago. Today, I'm sure, whatever he is, he will remember the argument and he will not be very comfortable. It's as bad as that. And one normally drive this thing. You know, when life is threatened, when life is so secured, nothing makes meaning. Most of these health workers that are moving, they are moving because their lives is anchored on, or is derivable from. I will do everything to create criminal environment to thrive, so that I will remain relevant. You know, I was discussing with a friend who is based in the US, and he said he came into a city and he went to a public facility to use it. And then while he was coming out, he passed someone, and then somebody just accosted him and asked him, "Do you know that person who passed?" He said, "No." He said, "That's the mayor." The city. It's just that way. Okay, as I'm speaking to you here now, I have 2 kids. I'm concerned because it's abnormal. That's why most of their children that they are stealing this word, quote unquote, for. Tell them, "Dad, I don't need this. Sell it and give it to charity." Plainly. Do you understand me? So the reality on the ground is that this issue, our leaders know what to do. Like the other time I was talking to you about agriculture. Pakistan, I think Pakistan. And I tell you that, look, even the Pakistani ambassador knows the truth, that the root of this problem is diverting the money you give him to buy pen, to buy kuri. Upon realizing that, you can even give the
outreach to address issues of parental neglect and sensitize husbands to the need to fend for their families. Barrister, you were just talking about the
that one is even good. Nigerians are, permit me to use this phrase, Nigerians are eating debt presently. They are eating what they ought not to eat. If you see what some people are eating, these are waste. People are eating waste. What they would have thrown away, that's what they are now forced to eat. Not that they have an alternative, they are to eat. Some are eating chaps that they would have thrown away. It's as bad as, you know, the way I and because crude oil. And this is the reality that we are facing. Now, let me say this to you. The market forces you are seeing, now they are increasing tax. Do you know they are lowering taxes so as to make them have gone, that you realize that you are on the wrong trajectory. The only way forward is to return. Sometimes that I miss my way, I can engage in false call. and tell the person that you gave me a wrong direction, and I will retrieve carefully so that nobody can embarrass.
Husband and wife, 5 children, that you cannot cater for than they can cater for. We know the situation of the country. We have actually spoken about the values. We see that some of these families can barely cater. Most of them, like you said, are farmers. Some of them are fishermen. Some of them are village men that just barely feed as the day passes by. But they have more children than they can cater for. Isn't it a situation where they can cut it down in childbearing? Since we're all trying to adapt to the situation of the country. Nobody about this. But personally, in your own aspect, in as much as you're trying to escape the hardship of the situation, isn't it better you reduce the number of children you birth so that you don't cause so much stress of catering for them on yourself?
Okay, now if you look at it, you realize that I can tell you plainly, there is reduction in birth rate presently. Do you understand it? Now, talking about, let's say you have a family that have 5 children, right?
Okay.
You can use the mathematical deleting procedure by eliminating some of the children. They are there. There's something you can do about it. They are already in part of the family. So what we are talking about now is me, my family. I normally joke about it. I usually say we were a football team and a coach. We were 12. Not polygamous home. Right?
Okay.
2 died.
And at the time, your parents were able to cater for all of you.
Good. We are 10 now, right? I have only 2 kids. So I said, according to this Russian political philosophy, each according to his need, each according to his ability. So now, I said, those who need more children, God should give to them. I've hung my boot with only those 2 children. My daughter has finished her secondary school. I will be able to push the boy through the secondary school. He has entered now. Do you understand it? Now, if you now have, you can train these people who are coming up now on the need why they should not have more children. They will understand.
Okay.
But don't starve these people that exist to death. Create the enabling environment. It's just like the Japan syndrome we are talking about. Who will take that risk? Or bring most of the parents who are taking their children abroad and are training them there. They know the consequences. It is better to have your children, at least they can finish university here. So let us look at things from that angle. We cannot kill the existing one, but let's make the environment okay while we are talking to the younger generation and tell them to reduce the number of children that they have.
Thank you so much about that. Thank you about your thoughts. I always appreciate that. We will go on a quick break. When we return, we will continue our stories. Stay with us.
The ocean to the land beyond the mountains. Through the Sahara, we bring all the sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economic, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATM.
Every day, our lives are changed by history.
We are one people, all of us.
Leaders, politics,
Nobody's ambition is what they want.
I have fought a very firmly.
natural occurrence, war, and the world economy.
I belong.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. Federal government has unveiled a strategic focus for Nigerian youth in 2025, prioritizing the provision of accesses to capital and job creation. Minister of Youth Development, Comrade and National Council on Youth Development, held in Borno State, pointed out 6 critical areas of focus in the coming year aimed at empowering and transforming the nation's young population. The theme was transforming and repositioning the Nigerian youth to thrive and catalyze economic development. The event highlighted the government's commitment to youth development. Director, Information and Public Relations, Omolara Esan, in a statement said the 6 priorities areas outlined by the minister include access to capital, job creation, empowerment, skill development, entrepreneurship support, and youth involvement in decision-making processes. According to the minister, Nigerian sustainable growth and economic progress hinge on the empowerment of its youth, who make up over 60% of the population and represent the nation's greatest strengths. Barrister Manki, we've been had several thoughts. I don't know if you were, I'm not sure you were the one on my guest show when I talked about the Empower situation that happened during the last president administration, that we really didn't know how it went on. And then we've had cases of youth empowerment and all of that, but we haven't, had something tangible to say about it. What do you have to say about the situation coming from the federal government that this they want to create job opportunities for youth coming year 2025?
It's the same deception. I call them attention diversion tactics. that is a game. You understand? I was watching this live documentary. This crow, 2 of them, they perch on a support platform, and they watch a cat that was feeding on something that is of interest to them nutritionally. So I don't know how they communicated between themselves. So one of the crow left the podium and pulled back behind the cat and picked the tail of the cat. The moment the crow used the beak to pick the tail of the cat in a move to defend itself, that you have to be very careful, for instance, when you are made angry, because sometimes the purpose is to divert your attention. And sometimes when people make you angry, you say things uncontrollably. Yeah. You have to be very, very careful. Those who have undergone things like adversity intelligence, they are always conscious when people seek to make them angry. There's something around that they want to play around. So they are always alert. Either they'll be quiet. So the moment that very crow picked the tail of the cat turned to fight back. The one that was on the podium now landed and picked picked the food. And then that one automatically flew up, and both of them went to go to somewhere to have a good day with him. So this is, it's so unfortunate. Why I use the word unfortunate is that this government is ready to sink every bright mind into its consuming pot of misdirection. That's how I call it. You know, there's what we call, in law, there's what we call fraudulent misrepresentation. When you talk about fraudulent misrepresentation, you are talking about a situation wherein, for instance, I'm lying to you, and I know, I'm very certain that what I am telling you is a lie, and I'm deliberate about it, and I'm bent to force it on you and to misdirect you. If you ask me about what I am making you to believe, I know that it's a lie, it's not a truth.
So what do you have to say about this?
So most of these individuals, like you talk about the empire, the government knows what to do. It's like when they were talking about student loan. Now they use the so-called student loan as a bait to divert the attention. Meanwhile, students ought to have. That's why when I look back in those days when I was an undergraduate, I shared that with you sometime in this studio. In the days of Maegun, Thomas Sankara, and the rest of them, students would have given federal government ultimatum about refining of petroleum product in this country. And under 1 month, Bola Tinubu would have been forced. Many Kyari would have run out of this country. I'm telling you. But they carefully came. They are now buying buses for SUG. And they recruit through the authority. They recruit through the school authority, stooges for themselves. Meanwhile, on the other hand, this university, they are also promoting people to become not based on merit, professors that they intend to use as electoral fraud validators. You will hear professor reading votes that he never wrote, that he never witnessed. The chief executive of Edo State, when he's reading budget, I'm sorry, 6 million, sorry, this is complicated. All manner of nonsense. You have their counterpart abroad. University is supposed to be knowledge export zone.
So do you
where people export ideas.
Think job creation from the federal government coming year 2025, it's something that we should be anticipating?
On what basis? That's why I use it. I'm very practical and honest about the use of West. I'm deliberate about it. Is an attention. It is that now. You will now see students or youth gravitating, fighting, seeking who will get which position, and then they will tell you, what do you call it? Cooking for puppies. You see all those kind of projects, fanciful and cosmetic, attention diverting projects. They just use that to divert the attention of the youth. They know the right thing to do. That's why recently, I think, Court of told the anti-graft organization, because some of these justices of the court at the higher level, based on the exposure through the cases that they have, they know the ruiners of our future in this country as the political class, and they made it clear to them. Forget about these petty thieves that are manifesting through the so-called Yahoo, and go after the mass grave killers, the mass killers, those who will embezzle money meant for highways that are consuming the lives of our people.
Okay, thank you.
Those who were giving money that were supposed to use to buy equipment and chase out our criminals, and then they divert the money. So if the government is sincere, let's be honest to ourselves. Sadly, most of these people who are heading this organization, they were trained abroad. Do you understand? That's why I call it a sinking sand. They just bring them in with the intention of just using the system to sink them in. If you check the entire system, you notice that, do you think that the cabinet of Nigeria, the capacity of individuals there, do you think they do not know what is happening in petroleum industry? This is the only country, member of OPEC, that does not have a functional refinery. Nigeria. This is the only country that is a member of OPEC that don't have a functional refinery. Okay,
so Barrister, in essence, we should just be hopeful and anticipate for the job creation that the federal government...
Until there is a sincere change of mind, right?
Okay.
These things are just, how would I call it, Halloween stories.
All right.
that will take us nowhere.
Thank you. Moving forward, we have that the Supreme Court will on Monday, December 16th, determine the fate of President Bola Tinubu in a fresh suit seeking his removal from office as Nigeria's leader. The suit new suit was marked SE/ZF 669/2023 is praying the Apex Court to sack Tinubu on two major grounds of alleged non-qualification to hold office as Nigeria's president and also position of the same office against the law of the country. A candidate in the 2019 presidential election on the platform of Hope Democratic Party, HDP, Chief Ambrose Albert Owuru filed the fresh suit directly at the Supreme Court. Defendants in the suit are former President Muhammadu Buhari, Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, and Tinubu as first to fourth defendant, respectively. Owuru, a British-trained lawyer who was called to the Nigerian bar in 1982, is insisting that he won the 2019 presidential poll, but that his tenure was allegedly also usurped by Buhari for 8 years. On the other hand, he prayed the Apex Court to disqualify Tinubu on account of forfeiture of $460,000 to the United States of America over alleged involvement in drug trafficking related offense. Besides the alleged forfeiture of the sum in relation to drug trafficking, the former presidential candidate also accused Tinubu of being an active agent of CIA, a position he said prohibits Tinubu from holding the office of the president of Nigeria. Barrister, you're a barrister practicing one for that matter, and this situation from the former presidential Owuru presidential candidate to 2019 putting a fresh suit against President Bola Ahmed Tinubu that he should be removed from office. Do you think this is a situation that can be justified and the Supreme Court putting it into consideration with the fact that he has listed, saying that he's a drug trafficker and then he works for the CIA? Are those actually evidence enough to remove Tinubu out of office?
Well, when I say that I've lost faith in the judiciary in Nigeria, I mean what I'm saying. It's a very sad situation that we have on this land. The Supreme Court, so to say, is not only a court of law, but also a court of policy. And if you know the implication of that, you know that beyond law, there are other critical issues that the Supreme Court is supposed to look at in coming to terms with certain decisions. Most of the things that are being raised here, sadly, the Supreme Court has unfortunately, I repeat, unfortunately, validated the shock and
Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
No, Buhari.
Buhari, I'm sorry. For the 2019 election, do you agree with that fact?
I will tell you plain, I'm very pessimistic. There is nothing that is going to come out of it. Is it not? You see the desperation on the part of the executive through the person on Nyesom Wike, who is part of the executive. They have usurped the power of the judiciary to be part of the executive. That is what we have in Nigeria now. These things he listed. Supreme Court, that was the issue I was telling you last time.
Yes.
That they College of Art and Science.
Okay.
That was what took me to University of Calabar. Right? Now, if I claim that I have BBC in my A-level, that's my IJMB result, which now gave me admission into Faculty of Law, University of Calabar, and it is found that that certificate that I presented, I thought I have, is actually BCC, which does not amount to the norm, even if I have graduated. Do you understand?
Yes.
That was a similar thing that happened in Nigeria. And to make the matter worse, they now discovered that the certificate that Bola Tinubu submitted to Chicago State University, their full-time money or whatever they were giving to give that kind of judgment. What fraud can be like this? And that is the person that you allow to come up. I have said it and I repeat it here. A day is coming in this country. That is similar thing that happened this after Papalola. It's the only thing. In fact, they did similar thing in Lagos. A property that was in contention